So there's a lot of brainwashed reform voters out there, and a lot of them are ringing into this radio program here. So let's correct them all.
James is in Durham. James, what would you like to say?
I'm delighted that he's back, if I'm honest.
He's called James as well. Letting the side down, James. You're letting Jameses down.
I think it gives people another option because, quite frankly, looking at Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak, I wouldn't really fancy voting for either of them.
Rishi Sunak? Sunak's not running for... I'll forgive the mistake.
Well, you don't live in Clacton, so you've already had a option in your constituency to vote for reform.
Correct, yes, but it wasn't with Nigel at the helm. I think.
So what does that change, do you think?
I suppose he gives a bit of the Boris factor. I wasn't a fan of Boris at sort of the
why
later
would you
stages.
why would you want the Boris factor then?
Because he's backing Britain.
Who is?
Nigel.
How?
Nigel.
He's ripping Britain off. It's not the same as backing Britain, is it?
He's putting the British values there first. And
So can you talk? I love that phrase. I like it a lot, actually, James. Can we go through what you think they are?
Yeah. So if I go on holiday to Dubai,
No, I want British values, not theoretical holidays.
That.
So what are British values?
But this is what I'm about to say. If you let me finish.
Of course.
If I go to Dubai, I respect Muslim laws. I will fully respect it. You don't drink in public. You're not allowed to walk around with your top off if you go through the hotel lobby. But I find it funny that...
If you go through the hotel lobby, he said. So his entire experience of Muslim countries sounds like it comes from a hotel where they are paid to look after you. It doesn't sound like he has experience of an actual Muslim country where women and children and men can be thrown off buildings simply for their beliefs.
You're getting a lot of people that are coming over here.
So you respect them laws?
Right. Who don't want to follow the British values of respect, looking after the society, looking after your home. They're coming across and wanting to change our rules
so for example,
and how we live.
Who is coming over wanting to change it? I've never seen some Muslim coming over to Britain being like, yeah, your rules over here aren't right in Britain. You need Muslim rules. I have seen the odd extremist preacher, but I also see extremist preachers for Judaism, Christianity. You can't really say Hinduism and Buddhism. Buddhism is extremist, but they are out there spreading their spiritual message. But they're not trying to force it on others. That's a big difference. There are a very small minority of Muslims, and I'm talking infinitesimally small, like 0.1%, who do think America and the UK should have Sharia law. Like 0.01%. The majority of them and these families moved away from Muslim countries to get away from Sharia law. Sorry about the building work going on outside. For some reason, there's scaffolding going up. Fucking crazy.
Well, I think Nigel's pretty...
And which rules? Give me an example of a real person trying to change a real rule.
The person who comes to mind for me would be like some of the extremist preachers, like Captain Hook. What was he called? Abdul Al-Hamri or Hamza, or something like that. Forgive the mistake.
Well, you look at Sadiq Khan.
Sadiq Khan.
He's implementing a lot of rules that a lot of his Muslim voters are wanting.
Like what?
They wanted Sharia law.
Sorry.
Oh, Sharia law is going to be implemented by Sadiq Khan. Right, okay. So why hasn't he done that in the 3 times he's been elected mayor so far of London? So he's been elected mayor of London 3 times, and he has yet to introduce a single piece of Sharia law, right, into British legislation or suggest it or recommend it. But this guy thinks that's what he's going to do. When he's in the position to do it and hasn't done it.
Sadiq Khan has introduced Sharia law.
No, he would back Sharia law.
Where do you get that
Why would he back it?
claim from, mate?
He said it.
You think Sadiq Khan has said
said
that
it?
he wants to introduce Sharia law?
I would know if Sadiq Khan had said that. He hasn't.
He would back it.
Okay,
He
what do you
100%
think?
if that was on the table.
What do you think Sharia law is?
I'm not going to get into that. You know what Sharia law is.
Well,
The same as Christian doctrine. It's a set of rules and laws within a religion where they're supposed to abide by them and go along with them. And if they don't, they can face disciplinary actions or punishment within their religious community. It's the same in every religion. Christianity has it with Catholicism, although less with Protestantism. But the Protestant church does frown on a lot of things. A lot of it they should frown on. In the Jewish faith, for example, they have a bar mitzvah at the age of 13, where a boy becomes a man. And to be honest, in our society, a boy's not really a man until like at least 21. So
I know that on things like divorces and domestic disputes, some people are happy to have their cleric, if you like, sitting.
some Catholics do that. Their priest will be their marriage counsellor, and the priest or Catholic priest will be who their adjudicator is, or their judge and mediator in counselling or marriage counselling. Like, that's basically the same as what Muslims do in Sharia law.
In a form of adjudication, but that can't be what you're objecting to. So what is it you think Sadiq Khan has publicly backed that you're troubled by?
No, I'm saying that Sadiq Khan would back Sharia law.
Yes, but what do you mean by the phrase, in that context, what do you mean by the phrase Sharia law? Because if you're saying that he would back something, I don't know, like chopping people's arms off for shoplifting, then you'd have to be able to provide some evidence, wouldn't you?
And he'd have to prove that evidence was somehow more powerful than the fact he's been London mayor 3 times now, and he's never suggested chopping people's arms off for shoplifting.
But okay, we'll go back a stage.
No, let's just pick off. Let's just deal with one bit of the conversation at a time. The claim that Sadiq Khan. I mean, all you've talked about is Muslims. So when you say British values,
yes,
you don't mean freedom of religion.
No. Anyone can.
You don't
have
mean freedom of
religion.
worship. You don't mean freedom of expression.
Absolutely fine.
And you don't mean democracy, because Sadiq Khan, of course, is the elected mayor of London 3 times.
Which
so what are the
very,
British values?
Very odd in my opinion.
Well, of course it's odd in your opinion, because your opinions are based on falsehoods and misunderstandings.
You see what I mean? By people out there who have been literally brainwashed by a glass screen, right, to believe utter bullshit. And like, he's going to cling to this probably for the rest of his life, maybe. Like, until the day he accepts the fact he was wrong. And it could take weeks, months, years. Smart people get it over and done with quickly.
For example, Sadiq Khan supports Sharia law. So let's just pick up on where that idea took seed in your mind or your memory.
So Sadiq Khan...
It's social media. We all know it's social media. Social media has been trying to brainwash people for years over a load of bullshit. To be honest, before social media, most people didn't care about politics. Most people, in fact, avoided it as much as they avoid religion. But during COVID, everyone became swindled into giving a fuck all of a sudden, because we were in lockdown. Oh, suddenly politics matters. But before lockdown, politics didn't fucking matter.
Khan is a Muslim.
Yes.
So, of course, he would want Sharia law because it acts as a code for living that almost...
Oh, so because he's a Muslim, he would want Sharia law. Okay, so are you suggesting that because Kemi Badenoch's husband is Catholic, that he would want us all to be flayed for sins with like a fucking whip or something? Like, do you know what I mean? What shit? This concept that all Muslims are the same is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I don't judge all Christians the same. I don't judge all Jews the same. I don't judge all Muslims the same. There's some very bad Christians out there who have hurt a lot of children, killed innocent people. There's Jews out there who have hurt innocent children, killed women and children, killed their fellow Jewish men. There are Muslims out there who have killed their fellow Muslim men, women and children. We have bad eggs in every corner of this world. It doesn't matter which religion you are, there's horrible bastards within it. It doesn't fucking matter which religion you are. But to claim that all Muslims want Sharia law, when the majority of them left Muslim countries to get away from it is utterly ridiculous. Maybe some of them, sure, a small minority, and they can get fucked. But the vast majority of Muslims are very happy to live in a free democratic country where they can just work hard and practice their faith peacefully without committing crimes. Most Muslims aren't like what this guy thinks. He's convinced himself they're all jihadists out to introduce Sharia law.
Muslims should adhere to.
Oh,
it's insane.
So you've got so there is absolutely no recorded evidence of Sadiq.
This is a man of voting age. A grown-ass fucking man who let this little device brainwash him into believing a load of bullshit that he for years now has probably believed. For fucking years. And will believe for years afterwards, because it's easier for him to continue lying to himself than how much pain he will have to go through to accept he was lied to and believed a lie and so was a mug.
He can't saying what you're saying.
Well, no, he has
but
said...
This is what all Muslims believe.
Yes, but why? This is a Christian country.
But that's freedom of religion, then.
But it's not. You can have the right to prayer, but why should we introduce a law?
But no one is introducing that. This is the thing that you're going to have to, I guess, either stop saying this or provide some proof.
I have. If you want to, I can. If I had the time, I'd find the clip of him.
Take all the time you want.
I'll send that clip in.
No, stay on the. Don't go now. Just tell me when it was, what he said, what, and what you think he meant by Sharia law, and what it is you're scared of.
I'm not. I'm scared at the fact that we are talking about introducing a Muslim law to a Christian
James,
country.
He's the only fucker who's mentioned it.
You were talking about that.
No, I mentioned
I have Sadiq Khan on this programme every month for the last God knows how many years, and he's never once mentioned this. You've been on for 2 minutes, and you can't shut up about it. So where on earth are you getting this evidence from?
You're the one who's spinning this now.
Mate, I just need to...
How is he spinning it? Where did some English people get the idea they claim people are just spinning it when someone says a truthful, factual thing that you don't like? It's not spinning it. James said the truth there, look.
Yes, and he's never once mentioned this. You've been on for 2 minutes and you can't shut up about it. So where on earth...
How's he spinning it? It's fact. It's accuracy. Some of you should try it sometime.
Are you getting
you're
this
the
evidence
one who's spinning this now.
Mate, everyone... I just need to warn you that everyone can hear you.
We can. Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
Right. So where is your proof, or where did you get the idea that... I mean, it's supposed to be a conversation about Nigel Farage representing British values.
And that's what I was getting onto. So when you
just been banging on about Muslims so far.
Asking me about.
Well, no, we can't get onto that yet because we just need to establish when and where Sadiq Khan spoke out. I mean, he's been mayor of London for years. Why hasn't he introduced it?
Because I imagine he would have very great troubles introducing it.
Well, that would be one answer to the question. The more obvious one is that he's got absolutely no desire to do so whatsoever, which is the point at which you proved to me that he does.
It was a post that was going around social media.
Oh, of course it was.
Which had
of course it was.
Alongside.
I saw a post on social media of me and my daughter on the moon. And so, it must be true. Obviously, I clearly did take Doctor Who's TARDIS to the moon. Clearly, I mean, look. Clearly, me and my daughter did go to the moon, and we took Doctor Who's target because it's on social media. I mean, come on. How could you... There's the photo.
Of Sadiq Khan saying that...
oh, my God.
Well, he quoted that they are trialling the law in...
He said Shakira. Wait there.
He quoted that they are trialling Shakira...
Yes. Hips don't lie, mate.
Ladies up in here tonight. No fighting.
I don't want to get copyrighted.
The law in 3 of London's boroughs right now.
Yeah.
And they will roll it out in the remaining 30 years.
What research did you do into that social media post?
It was on the Daily Mail.
No, but what?
Oh, the Daily Mail! The same people who were back in the Nazi Party in the fucking 1930s. Oh, great. They know exactly what they're talking about. The same people who said Liz Truss's budget was the best budget they'd seen in a generation. The same people. Those same people. All right, okay. They clearly know what the fuck they're talking about, don't they? The Daily Fail is what they're called.
What checks did you do on it?
Well, how can you check something when?
Right, do you want me to show you?
Let's check out what the Daily Mail's saying today. Let's see what they're saying today. Just check. Tory traitor banished. Okay, good for him. Freddie Mercury's daughter dies, aged 48. Okay. I've been happily married for 30 years, but I've got 20,000 hidden from my husband. Look at all this clickbaiting bullshit. These people literally make money from selling you stories. That is what the Daily Mail does and has done for decades, right? They make money from selling you stories. And are you honestly telling me that you not only read it, but you buy it mentally? Everything that they tell you, you're buying. Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, she's got 20k hidden away, blah, blah, blah. Can embarrassing Starmer stick to any policies? Stuck to the workers' rights. At least he did that. Removals van arrives at Royal Lodge as disgraced Andrew prepares to leave. Oh, that's a good one, actually. That's good. Look at that. I was swimming in shallow waters on my dream holiday when I was attacked by a shark. See what I mean? It's all things to sell you. They want you to pay money to read what they want to tell you. But when someone's trying to tell you the truth for free, you're not listening. But the people who are charging you money to sell you a load of shite, you believe is true. But the people who tell you the truth for free, oh, we're spinning it. Spinning it.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question which I promise you isn't patronising, but do you know what Reuters is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so an internationally respected news organisation.
Yep.
So while you've been...
I don't know what Reuters is. I've just learned.
I've never heard this claim about Sadiq Khan before. I'm 99.999% confident that it's complete rollocks. Right.
It is.
Right? And the only time I ever hear things like this is when people tell me that Nigel Farage defends British values, and I push them for some proof.
We're still waiting for one single value that Nigel Farage upholds. Freedom of speech. No, he's not happy at a lot of people's freedom of speech. Freedom of religion. No, doesn't seem like he's happy with that. Freedom of expression. No, because he keeps boycotting Parliament when Starmer uses his free speech, who's the elected Prime Minister. So he doesn't like democracy because he wasn't elected party leader. He is he was installed as party leader. Well, he's not. Reform is not a democratic party. They don't make democratic decisions. They don't group together and make policy. No, they do as Nigel tells them because he's the daddy. And if they don't like it, they can fuck off. That's how it works in reform. It's not.
I push for some proof or some evidence or some explanation. And you tell me that, for example, Sadiq Khan, I don't know what this has got to do with Nigel Farage, but
it's called a deflection.
I'm just teaching you how...
Unfortunately, this is what a lot of racists and uninformed people do, is when they're clamped on a point with truth and fact, they can't dispute, that proves them wrong, they deflect. A lot of people out there seem to think they can go online, read how to debate, and then suddenly they've got all the tools at their disposal to win a debate. So go into the debate and try and use all these tools and end up looking like a mug. End up looking like a right fucking mug. Because they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. It doesn't matter how good you research and educate debating if you don't actually know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter how well you have educated yourself on debating tactics. You will still end up looking like a fucking mug.
I'm just teaching how to do fact checks. All right? So you tell me that the mayor...
It's like reading a book about chess and thinking you could beat a grandmaster. Like, it's not going to happen.
...of London wants Sharia law to be imposed in London, and you mention a social media meme or quote, and I can find in...
Brainwashed by a phone.
While talking to you, this isn't the BBC, I've done it all myself while talking to you. In fact, people watching on YouTube will be able to watch the process of me just simply Googling.
I am watching. I was simply able to Google
a few of the words you've said in this
Has
conversation.
Sadiq Khan
And up pops Reuters from July the 1st, 2020, saying, fact check, the Mayor of London did not say Sharia law is being imposed in London. Let me read some of it to you. Social media users are sharing a quote attributed to the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, implying that Sharia law is being implemented in London. This claim is false. The Mayor of London's press office has confirmed that the quote, which misspells Sharia, is fabricated. Posts showing the quote alongside a picture of Khan have hundreds of shares on Facebook.
And look at this. Donald Trump claimed that Sadiq Khan wanted to introduce Sharia law. And who owns Facebook and all the social media companies? Oh, it's America. So an American company told this British guy that the mayor of London wants to introduce Sharia law, and he believed it. Even though this guy's been elected mayor 3 times, has never supported Sharia law being introduced, has never tried to introduce it, has never suggested he would introduce it, and has never tried to in his time being mayor. But somehow the Americans and Trump have managed to get a website and one of these to brainwash a British person to believe a load of bullshit. And you all wonder why I don't like fucking Trump.
Including you, I imagine, right? The quote attributed to Khan reads, "We are trialling Shakira law in 3 of London's..."
Shakira law. I've got to go back to Shakira now. For God's sake.
Ladies up in here.
You make a woman go mad, so be wise.
Don't want to get copyrighted.
Boroughs right now. We will then roll it out in the remaining 30 next year.
Correct.
I mean, it's illiterate, James.
What? So
bear in mind, this man has probably believed this for years. And he could have literally typed this question into Google. Has Sadiq Khan, he could have even spelled it wrong like me. Has Sadiq Khan ever supported Sharia law? No. Says here, he's never ever supported, never supported the implement as part of UK legal system. On the contrary, he has explicitly stated his opposition to it. Google is free, you guys know. Google is free. You guys know that, right? You don't need to pay the Daily Mail to brainwash you with one of these. You can literally use your computer and go on Google. It's free. You can type in a question like, has Sadiq Khan ever supported Sharia law? And every single bit of evidence Google can find will throw up. But no, this guy has just believed it from his phone and spent years telling everyone that's what it is.
And it's false.
Okay, well, I'll do what politicians can't do and accept that.
But look how much you've built on it.
But equally, that still doesn't change my opinion of that when you're asking me about the British values.
When you're presented with facts that contradict your beliefs and you accept you are wrong, it should change your opinion. If it doesn't, that would suggest you are either hypnotized, brainwashed, or ignorant.
Yes.
Still is a lot of talk about Sharia law.
Right. Well, there's a lot of talk about, I don't know, anti-vax rhetoric.
Correct.
There's a lot of talk about lots of things. That's freedom of speech, isn't it?
It is freedom of speech.
But you're not opposed to freedom of...
I talk about lots of horrible things people don't want to listen to about how the Mental Health Act technically commits human experimentation on vulnerable, disabled people who they use as guinea pigs for the rest of their life, with medications that don't cure them, would never cure their mental disorder. They know for a fine fact would never cure their mental disorder. It's only used to highly sedate them so they can suggest they're not capable enough to be in the society and keep them where they are and keep experimenting on them. That's what we have in our world, in our society. You don't want to accept it, but that's the truth.
Speech because you're in favour of British values.
Absolutely.
But not all speech should be free.
No, there's a difference. Freedom of speech seems to be one-sided, very one-sided.
Okay, so who doesn't have freedom of speech then?
I'd probably say the white working class man.
What do you want to...
To be fair, there is a lot of people who don't have the freedom of speech they should have because of the position they're in. So if you're working for Tesco's, you can't go home and start complaining about Tesco prices on Facebook. Tesco would end your employment. Whereas I because I don't work for Tesco's, can complain about the prices at Tesco's. There is an unfairness in freedom of speech, but it is mostly people who they can't be racist and homophobic, or they can't bully disabled people with slurs, or be sexist to women, that have a problem with their freedom of speech being imposed. They don't really care about the workers' rights of freedom of speech. It's never a workers' freedom of speech that is mentioned. It's always their right to be racist and not get away with it. They've got a problem with.
Say that you can't say. You can say it to me, I promise. I'll protect you.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, how do you know that I'm white? You've just assumed that there.
Okay, are you?
I am, yes. But
Okay. Well, let's carry on then. What's the thing you can't say that you wish you could?
I've got to watch that again.
Okay, are you?
What I'm saying is, how do you know that I'm white? You've just assumed that there.
Okay, are you?
I am, yes. But
Okay. Well, let's carry on then. What's the thing you can't say that you wish you could?
No, what I'm saying is, when you're on about British values.
No, that was you. I'm just waiting for you to tell me what they are. I'm not going on about them.
No, but you were asking me, and then you're saying in terms
10 minutes into this call, he still hasn't mentioned British values that Nigel Farage believes in.
Of how it's not sort of getting out there and freedom of speech. Well, how come? And I'm not a Tommy Robinson fan, but the media was reporting that there was only.
Why aren't you a Tommy Robinson?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with some of his points, but the way that he goes about it, it probably doesn't help.
What points do you agree with?
That we're losing societies.
But we've just established that your main reason for being fearful of Islam is completely false.
I never said that was my main concern.
What's your main concern then?
My main concern is that we, as working class British citizens, are losing a lot of our.
Lots of working class British citizens are Muslim.
And I haven't said anything.
Here's the thing, right? This guy is clearly afraid of the change going on in the world. And I get it, I understand the fear of the change. It's fine. The world 20 years ago used to be everyone going to the pub or going out for a nice day out with their families or their friends. We didn't have this social media bullshit. We didn't have companies imposing on our data, our personal rights, our human rights, selling information about us between each other to try and exploit us for money. We didn't have that before. It was kind of just TV and radio and newspapers. That was it. So I understand his fear of change. But he's blaming Muslims for his fear of change when the world's changed far more because of us than the Muslims. Like, look at the advancements of computers and radar. That's because the British. Look at the advancements of many things. The fact of the matter is, we as humans struggle with change sometimes, but it is the only constant in life. The world is going to change. Whether you like it or not, right? The world is going to change. We ain't going back to jolly old 20 years ago in the 90s when everyone had a better life, realistically. That world is gone. That world is gone. You need to accept that the world is changing and make it a better world rather than trying to revert back to the old world. We need to build a new, better world, not go back to the old shit we moved away from. All right?
Against that, you're spinning words.
I'm not. I'm just saying, how can you be talking about Muslims and working class British people as if they're different? As if they're different.
I'm not.
Right. So what is the stuff you agree with Tommy Robinson about then? And I do want you to say the stuff you feel that white working class people aren't allowed to say. What sort of thing are we talking about here?
So I'll go back to earlier what you were saying about the boats coming across and what Nigel Farage has been saying.
No, I want you to tell me what you think you can't say.
I'm leading on to that. If you'd let me finish. So,
it's 11:33. I do want to talk to you for a bit longer, but just move on to it as quickly as you can, James.
No, absolutely. So,
thank you.
Tommy Robinson.
He is a lesser James. See, James, the radio presenter here is called James. The caller is called James, and I am called James, and he is the lesser James here. He is the lesser James out of the three of us.
He's obviously up there agreeing that...
Just because he's been brainwashed to hate people or disagree with people because of lies, and then he's understood that actually he was wrong, and his opinion hasn't changed. Like, if facts that prove you wrong don't change your opinion, You got some serious fucking problems. Serious problems.
We're allowing too many illegal immigrants into the country. We're allowing...
Is it not the case that we were? UK migration numbers 2025. So the UK migration numbers fell by 200,000 in the year June to 25, down from 600,000 in June 24. So migration numbers since the last year of Labour being in charge have actually gone down by 33%, give or take, a third. So if this person's main concern that migration was too high, surely he should be singing from the rooftops that migration is now down 33%. And he should be thanking Keir Starmer, even kissing his feet. Oh, thank you for stopping those vulnerable asylum seekers from seeking a better life, sir. Oh, thank you.
An army of men to come across.
Right.
Oh.
There's no
Who's
women
who's not allowed?
See that rhetoric? An army of men. He couldn't just say a load of men or majority of men. He had to say an army of men to try and install fear in the viewer and the reader and the listener. Honestly, some of you are fucking more see-through than a bit of glass.
Allowed to say that then?
People get branded different things if you say that.
You're always going to get branded something. I get branded lefty, loony, lib.
I get branded right-wing by the left and left-wing by the right because I'm a centrist. Get over it. People believe I'm Christian before they've met me because my surname's Pope. Fucking get over it, bro. You're going to be judged in life and you judge other people. It's a fact.
It bribed me. I think they showed a picture of me at Tommy Robinson's rally and encouraged everybody to boo. If you say stuff in public, James, then people say stuff back to you. But you were telling me about the things. You were telling me about the things that you're not allowed to say. You weren't telling me about being branded.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say that we're having too many people come across.
But you just did.
Yeah, he said it many times. In fact, loads of people say it. In fact, I've said it loads. I believe we are having so much migration problem because of the Tories' failures to do their job and Nigel's failure to do his job at 20 years for the EU, that I came up with a solution to this problem and tried to get everyone in the country to know about it, to get it done and finished and solved. There's no dispute that the migration numbers are too high, right? There's no dispute in that.
Yeah, exactly.
So how can you not be allowed to say the thing that you just said?
Because then you're shamed for it, saying, oh, well, we need to help them out.
Mate, the Conservative Party, the Labour Party and the Reform Party are all saying that there are too many people coming.
In fact, migration numbers are so high that Labour Party and Keir Starmer have done their very best to bring it down over the last year. But at the end of 2024 in June, it was 650,000. And in the end of June 2025, it was down to 204,000. So it was nearly a third of the migration we had the year before that. So it's down actually 66%. I did it the wrong way around. It's down 66%. So if this guy had such a problem with migration, how come he doesn't know in the last year migration's gone down 66%? Like, he should be singing from the rooftops.
Coming into this country from overseas. So what is it that you feel...
But the Conservatives and Labour won't do anything about it.
No, but we're talking...
If they weren't going to do anything about it, how come the numbers dropped 66%? He's now lying to try and get you to vote reform.
Talking about them not being allowed to say it.
How is that going to win anyone an election? Like, you need to be a trustworthy, respectable, civilised, decent individual to be Prime Minister, which is why I'll probably never get the job. But you can't win it by lying. Like, listen.
Labour Party and the Reform Party are all saying that there are too many people coming into this country from overseas. So what is it that you feel...
But the Conservatives and Labour won't do anything about it.
No, so the Conservatives caused the problem so that when Labour came in, they could lay it at their feet as a failure of the Labour government and try and get them out of office for it. That's essentially what the Tory party have done. It's just you don't understand how politicians actually play the long game for their party, even if they play the short game for their career. If that makes sense?
Talking about them not being allowed to say it. I just want to get to the bottom. In the same way your claim about Sadiq Khan and Sharia law, we got to the bottom of that, didn't we?
We did.
And it was complete crap, wasn't it?
Well, yes.
So now
we say
let's
that's
try
the
to get
improvement
let's
margin.
try now to get to the bottom of
One down.
the idea that you're not allowed to say there are too many people coming here.
Even though James just said it, he said it, and I've said it, and we ain't going to get any attention from the police for it. What you can't say is, I want to hurt people, or you should hurt people, or attack them because there's too many people coming here. You're perfectly allowed to say there's too many foreigners coming here. I don't like that. You're perfectly allowed to say there's too many migrants coming over. I don't like that. But what you're not allowed to do is be racist, and you're not allowed to, so you can't call them, you know, the P word, the N word, them sorts of things. And you're not allowed to try and incite violence against them or try and get others to commit the acts of violence because of them. That would be inciting violence. That's a crime. So you're perfectly allowed to say, oh, I can't stand all these foreigners coming over. I hear it every day, mate. What is he talking about? You're perfectly allowed to say that. Learn the law. My God, this is a grown man.
Because you have the left media who are saying, but we need to welcome them in.
Yeah, but that's freedom of speech as well. So you're allowed to say there's too many, and other people are allowed to say, no, there's not. Just nail me where that problem is for you personally.
We're spending £6 million a day on these illegal immigrants.
£6 million a day, but we're losing 40 million pounds a day in debt. So you're really bothered about this £7 million a day on migration, but for some reason you don't care about £30 million a day on debt, which is like 5 times the figure almost. How much we lose on debt each day than how much we pay for migration. And some of those migrants work and pay taxes, so we get a return. There's no return on this debt. It's just paying debt and interest on the debt, and then pay more interest and more interest, so the debt doesn't go up, but the debt goes up anyway. It's just an endless cycle towards bankruptcy. Oh, but you don't care about the national debt, even though it's 5 times the figure of the migration cost, and it has no returns whatsoever. It's only a punishment for future generations, but you don't care about that. You don't care about that. It's just the Muslims you don't like, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
£3 billion a year.
Yes, and what's the bit you're not allowed to say?
We lose nearly. We lost £2 trillion over 14 years to the Tory party, and I bet you he voted Tory. I bet you this man voted Tory, and he has no problems with the fact that he has crippled Britain for 100 years with this £2 trillion debt before COVID, by the way. If you go after COVID, it's 2.5 trillion, but they blame Russia and COVID for that, but whatever. It was 2 trillion before COVID, right? They crippled Britain for 100 years. This man has voted for it. They also caused the mass migration problem, which he seems to care about. And I bet you he voted for them. I bet you.
They're coming across.
Yes.
They're getting mobile phones. They're put into 5-star hotels.
Well, let's look at that.
They're not put into 5-star hotels. There's some hotels that were previously 4-star and then were shut down because they became dilapidated, and then the government took them over and turned them into migrant centres. And they're certainly not in a state of 4 stars. It's like, have you ever been to a 4-star hotel? I tell you what, I've been to a 5-star platinum hotel. The Guayamina Princess in Tenerife, right? Very expensive hotel. It's got like a pearl reception, a pearl lobby. The whole thing's just marble and pearls everywhere. It's crazy, right? They've got their own sauna, like absolute paradise of a hotel, right? I have seen migrant centres. They are slightly better than a hostel. Slightly better than a hostel. Hostels are only bad because they're not very clean usually, because the occupants treat the place like a shit tip. Not because the staff don't work hard or try, it's because the occupants treat it like a pile of shit. In a migrant centre, it's basically a hostel for foreigners. It's not a 5-star hotel. What are you talking about? This man has accepted already that he was brainwashed with wrong information about Sharia law. But he doesn't consider the possibility that actually fucking migrants aren't being put up in a Guayamina Princess with a fucking outdoor swimming pool. Are you for real, bro? Are you for real? Have you seen that fucking... migrant centres. They are not 5-star hotels.
Then let's look at the
We've got
5-star. Shall we look at the 5-star hotel thing then?
Whether they're in 5 stars.
No, let's
4
look at
stars,
that. Let's
3
look at
stars.
that. Let's look at the 5-star hotel. The illegal immigrants in 5-star hotels. Where are they? And where? No, let's go back again. Actually, where did you hear that?
The news.
You heard it on the news. Which news?
Yes.
GB News, Talk TV,
Various outlets.
Okay, and where are the hotels?
GB News and Talk TV. We both know that's what it is. That's why he didn't say it.
You've got the one which is barricaded down. Is it in Plymouth?
Mate, you don't barricade 5-star hotels. They cost about 400 quid a night. What would all the other guests say? That can't be a 5-star hotel, can it?
The government are booking up whole hotels. This is the thing. The barricaded
But
by
they
the police
cease to
because
be.
of protesters.
Yeah, but they cease to be hotels when they become asylum centres. They used to be
Exactly.
hotels. It's just
So
a name that's given to a building. But I want to focus on the 5-star bit. So can you?
It's like if you have a Michelin star restaurant, right? And then the Michelin star restaurant shuts down, and then McDonald's buy it and still sell food there. So there's still people going in there, eating food, buying food, exactly the same as when it was a Michelin star restaurant. It doesn't remain a Michelin star restaurant. It's now a Mackie D's. So when a 5-star hotel shuts down and then they turn it into a migrant centre for asylum seekers, it is no longer a 5-star hotel. It doesn't operate as a 5-star hotel. They haven't got room service with fucking caviar and lobsters. And what world does this man live in?
Name a 5-star hotel where illegal immigrants are accommodated.
Yeah, let's have a look, shall we?
Yeah.
If that's the case. So, news article here. Thousands of asylum seekers and channel migrants are living in 4- and 5-star
I bet he's gone straight to a GB News article.
luxury at British taxpayers' expense.
Where's that?
One of the 4 hotels used to be a house.
Where is the article?
This is on The Sun.
And where? Just finish that sentence there. One of the hotels used to be.
One of the high-end, right, in the top brackets, detonating class and some high-end resorts nationwide are booked for months.
Yes.
Name it.
Home office officials are sitting
So the
refreshing bookings on
5-star,
film.
the 5-star hotel we're looking for.
Name it.
So we've got a 4-star hotel.
I was
which
4-star,
is-
yeah. As I said it was. I told you it was 4 stars already before this all started, and then they twisted it to a 5-star on GB News and Talk TV to try and get you to hate it. Right? Carry on.
And you think that is still a 4-star hotel? That is literally taking guests alongside asylum.
because the
So
government.
it's not a 4-star hotel anymore. If you stayed there, you'd be sharing a room. You'd be told what meals you were having. You wouldn't have access to the facilities that were put in place for guests because most of them would have been closed. It's a bit like, what's the nearest hotel to you, where you are now, James, in Durham? What's it like?
That's probably the Premier Inn is probably the closest.
Okay, well, I was in a Premier Inn at the weekend. So imagine that we took over that Premier Inn tonight and we turned all the rooms into dormitories. We put 2 sets of bunk beds in every room. We got rid of the menu and decided what we'd be serving up every morning and every evening. You'd have a very limited amount of choice, if you like, to what food was available. You certainly wouldn't be able to avail yourself of the bar facilities or anything like that. But the building in which this was happening used to be the Premier Inn. We'd maybe even leave the sign outside that says Premier Inn. Would you describe the people staying there in those bunk beds as staying in the Premier Inn?
Yes.
Oh, well, then you've got me bang to rights, because it's no longer the Premier Inn, according to all of the...
So if a Michelin star restaurant shuts down and then McDonald's takes over, he's claiming he would continue to call it a Michelin star restaurant. Oh, people are eating in a Michelin star restaurant. Even though the Michelin star restaurant was shut down and a McDonald's took over, he's claiming it's still a Michelin star restaurant. You can't win with these people. You can't win with them. Like, argued with a fool makes 2.
definitions that gave it that title in any way, in exactly the same way that building over there that was once a 5-star hotel and is now an asylum centre is not a 5-star hotel anymore. Do you see that?
Well, okay, so let me flip it round to you. So say you book every single room in the Premier Inn.
Yeah.
Just for you. Is it still a hotel?
Yes.
Exactly. So what's the difference from the government fully block booking a hotel?
It's actually a very good point, James. He's got you there.
And then the housing
Because the
asylum
hotel that I'm staying in is the same as it was last year. It hasn't been turned into an asylum processing centre. We're going to run out of time, and the hotel you've just described costs £48 a night, I'm told. So it's not exactly...
Probably a lot cheaper than what the government's paying.
£48 a night, huh?
Yeah, maybe. So the question then becomes, if you know that the stuff about Sharia law was completely nonsense, you know that there is not a single asylum seeker in this country living in 5-star luxury. They may be, although we failed to find a single one. They may be in a building that used to be a 5-star hotel. And we know that everything you've said about Muslims, essentially, or
I haven't said any... No, you're spinning that.
Okay, right. Scratch that last bit then. Just the stuff. Let's concentrate on the stuff about Sadiq Khan and Sharia law and nothing about Muslims and the nonsense about the 5-star hotels.
This, by the way, is a 5-star hotel.
Can you tell me in a sentence or two why, when you put the phone down, you're still going to believe?
Look, this is a 5-star hotel, people. I'm serious. Like, how the fuck can he call that a 5-star? This is a 5-star hotel. Like, look at this. Look at that, man. Look at that. That is a 5-star hotel. I've stayed here a few times, actually, when I was lucky enough as a child. Look, this is a 5-star hotel. What he's talking about... Whoops. Shit. Whoops. What he's talking about is this. Right, that. Right, that's the sort of level of room you're talking about. This. That's what a fucking immigrant's getting in a room, and he's saying it's this. Fucking... Are you having a laugh? Are you fucking having a laugh, bro? I don't think people know what a 5-star hotel is in this country.
What you believed when you rang in?
I don't think they know.
Yes, because you've seen it on the... Well, I suppose maybe being on the left and in the media might not see it as much. But
we're talking about you. You're going to, because we've established 2 things you believe are not true. And now you're going to put the phone down, and we're going to say goodbye, and you're still going to... believe what you
and try and tell other people that he's right
believed when you rang in. And if you could help me out as someone on the left in the media who doesn't know what the real world is like, if you want to put it like that might be helpful. Why will you still believe the stuff that you now know isn't true?
Because there's still areas of the United Kingdom that even the police are scared to go to.
Not this lie again.
You've asked me in one sentence.
But just give me a couple of examples of those areas.
In my lifetime, the police have been far more scared of Irish travellers than any Muslim, I tell you that now. And I've never heard a reform person mention the police's fear of Irish travellers, but they mention the Muslim. But they're not racist, of course, no.
Oldham.
The police are scared to go to Oldham.
No, there's the streets in Oldham, there's streets in Bradford, there's streets in Birmingham that the police
Why
are
are they scared to go there?
Because they're outnumbered.
By who?
The people that live there.
The police are outnumbered by the people who live everywhere, James. Yeah. On your street, the police are outnumbered by the people who live there. So who do you mean when you say the police are outnumbered?
The police are vastly outnumbered by this country. Vastly outnumbered everywhere. I think Northumberland... How many people are in Northumberland Police? How many staff at Northumbria Police? So Northumbria Police has approximately 2,200 staff. How many people live in Tyne and Wear? So there's 2,200 officers in Northumbrian Police who police 1.2 million people. And this guy is saying they're outnumbered in Oldham.
Again,
who were they outnumbered by?
the foreigners.
Hey, I've realised they do a fine job for only having 2,000 officers with 1.2 million of us.
Does that live there?
The foreigners that live there.
Yes.
How do you know they're foreign?
I mean, don't play that. You know they are. It's these areas where they've been swamped. They're not British anymore. They don't follow the British values, and this is the thing.
And we're back to where we started. What were the British values that aren't being followed? And everything you said turned out to be false. But you're going to go away convinced that these tropes, these lies, these racist stereotypes are all true. But I've got to go to the news. Thank you.
They're not stereotypes.
No. They're all, yeah, you've got the proof that they're true, but it goes to a different school, right?
Right.